Hi, and this is Scott Wiener, one of the biggest experts of pizza in the US industry. He runs an amazing pizza tour in New York, the first of its kind. It was a genius idea he had years back when we met, and it takes people around explaining everything he knows about pizza and the difference in between style and pizzeria. But even more, he went deep into studying the history of pizza becoming a real living encyclopedia of the pizza world. So it's amazing to talk to him here and introduce it to you guys.
This is Giulio Adriani, who is a world-renowned pizzaiolo and really an expert in Italian pizza styles. I've eaten his pizza for over a decade in New York City. I've traveled with him into Naples.
Yes.
I've eaten coronetti at 3 a.m.
Yes.
And I've learned a lot from him. He's a true expert, not just in Neapolitan, not just in Roman, not just in Pala, Pizza Italia, all the styles. And he's truly on a quest for perfection and for improving himself more than just teaching other people.
Historian of pizza. I am more of a practical expert, but I can say that if pizza we define water and flour mixed, it comes from probably Egyptian age, right? You would concord. If for pizza we think about the applying tomato and mozzarella over a disc of dough, then probably we look back at Napoli in 1500.
The way I think about it is we applied the word pizza to the disc of dough that's flattened and topped and baked in the 18th century. And that crossover happened at a time when pizza was a street food in Naples. And that's why I separate that from the flatbreads that predated pizza, which are very similar to pizza. Pizza doesn't come from nowhere. No food comes from nowhere. But the thing that we call pizza today, that goes back to the mid-18th century.
There is a misconception about styles, meaning like even in Italy we do have what is here called styles. I do not call them styles. It's just interpretation of the pizza that at the end deliver a name next to it. For me, there are only two pizza. There is good pizza or bad pizza. This is the way I look at it. And either you make it in a quick, pliable, soft way, like what is called now Neapolitan with the fresh ingredients, or either you do a more scrumptious Detroit style. I mean, to me, it can be a good pizza or a bad pizza. And the reason that each of these styles is born, that's something that he studied, he can describe it better. Or there is always a reason behind something happen. You know, in the case of wood fire oven in Italy that were available at the center of the villages for baking bread, and that's why they were spread all over, also in time in which gas wouldn't exist. Most likely even coal wasn't as used around because it was making your hands dirty. Wood was available everywhere, and that was the common oven, then technology.
Giulio's frustration with the desire to create a taxonomy for food is interesting, but we as humans like to categorize things. And if we see that in a specific locality, that they are making pizza in a different way in Detroit, and the way that they do it in Detroit is different enough that we from the outside refer to it as Detroit style pizza, then that's a label that we put on it from the outside as a way to better understand it. And
Correct.
These variations evolve because different parts of the world have different climate, there's different local wheat flour, there's different ingredients that the local flavor likes. You go to Japan and it's not unusual to have a pizza with shrimp and mayonnaise.
Yeah. Or in India is everything with a very high level of spices.
These variations develop, and that's all speaking to the testament of pizza and what it is, how to define it. Pizza is not a definable recipe. It's a loosely defined format. It's dough that gets topped and usually baked.
Yes.
But beyond that, what we call pizza today is unrecognizable to what somebody would have called pizza in 1791. That's the beauty. Pizza is always evolving and it adapts to its place. And that's why these regional variations have popped up as an area adopts the food. And once it breaks free of just being strongly defined as an Italian dish, it has a longer life.
Yeah, but what I really do not like as a message is when I hear, well, pizza is just a plate for what is on top. No, pizza is a plate in all integrity with what is on top. It's not a surface on which we put ingredients, apply ingredients, because the dough has its own taste, texture, flavor profile, and smell and aromas that influence the toppings applied together with the cooking time. So creating a unique plate that distinguishes itself according to the styles that nowadays we can cook. Definitely what happened more, and is a landscape that probably will change very soon, is that there's been an increase with pandemic of the delivery demand. More people eat pizza at home than they were before, at least from my experience. Now, regulation on the minimum wage are changing drastically. We were just reading today, especially in New York, bringing minimum wage of tipped drivers to $23.96 in 2025. This might change because at that point all the restaurant might need to increase the prices on the delivery item to adjust to the cost, and that will probably lead to people receiving the pizza at home for too much cost and deciding instead to go back to eat the pizza in a pizzeria where they can experience it warmer at that point, with an ambient, with the music, and a little bit more fun. That doesn't mean that pizza at home won't still be a big component of the business, but we hope to see a reduction of that and more people going in pizzeria to eat the pizza.
I also think we're seeing a lot of that because public education about food is increasing. Over the past few years, people have gotten into home pizza making. So now, whether people are going to a restaurant or taking a class with us, Pizza University, or just making pizza in their backyard, they know a lot more now than they did before, which means I think they're more likely and more willing to pay for quality product. And that's why we're seeing in New York, slice shops are getting better. There's this whole era now of high quality, by the slice pizza, and people aren't concerned that it's $4 a slice.
Yeah.
Still very affordable, but in the grand scheme, when just a few years ago, the expectation was to pay $1 and to get a warm, gooey piece of cardboard. It's pretty cool to see like people are more into good food, and I think Giulio's right. That I think delivery situation might push people into the restaurants.
If we see what's happened in Italy right now, where the pizzeria that before I was ashamed to say around I was a pizza maker, my grandma never told to anybody because I was graduated at the university, and so what to do? Making pizza is for poor people. Now the pizza makers are stars, literally, more than chefs are in America. The biggest star in Italy are pizzerias and pizza makers, and the reason is you can, let's say you go on a date, and you can feel that date in the pizzeria. If you go in the top pizzeria of Italy, you can feel like you're in a 3 Michelin star nowadays, having a tasting menu and still stay below $50 or $40, which in a normal restaurant will bring you to lower quality food, bad ambient, probably bad experience. And in New York, if I think in New York and I want to go on a beautiful restaurant, Italian, that is not serving pizza, most likely I'll have an average experience with more than $100 out of my pocket. And instead I can go in the top pizzeria of New York, let's say Una, that's been voted world best pizza, or Teste, or Songa Napoli, and all the good ones. And with $40 a person, you can have an incredible experience, culinary speaking. And that, I think, is the future. Pizzeria are elevating their business to a level to still be super affordable, giving you the maximum food expression in the pizza category.
There are so many good pizzerias in New York right now. It's hard to recommend just a few.
He doesn't want to make enemies either, right? I mean, recommending it be like, oh, you didn't, oh, honey, you know, this is a lot of it.
But it also depends on style.
And depends on style.
Because
yes.
I kind of need to know what is it you're looking for. Are you looking for a classic New York slice?
Yes.
Well, I won't send you to some places that I really like.
Yeah.
You want a classic New York slice?
Yeah.
I send you to Suprema, to Joe's, to Luigi's. Best pizza. Even that is not, I wouldn't call it classic. Yeah. It's not greasy.
Yeah,
It's greasy.
Yes, true.
But then if you say you want
New
you want
York.
this next level 2.0 New York slice or whatever,
Industrious cars,
Mamas too.
2,
Manos.
Monos.
Yeah, Lucia. I mean, great new places like this big wave.
And then-
or maybe you want something.
Napolitan, something, there are like few that
Una pizza napoletana,
Songa Napoli,
Caste, Ribalta.
Ribalta.
Pizza Secret, Sotto Casa.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. Don't start a pizzeria in New York. No, just kidding.
He's not kidding. Don't start a pizzeria in New York. I would advise that unless you know you're gonna have a strong competition, you're gonna have an insane rent. And even most importantly, you're gonna need to update yourself continuously and never sit over your success, because that's a problem of a city ever evolving like New York, is that you cannot sit on top of your success, because guess what? Next day there are another 5 that are better than you, and so you better up your game over and over, which is at the end what we strive every day of our life as a pizza maker. At least me, in my case, I'm never happy. Is my pizza good? It can be good, can be better, can be always better. I never approach and say, oh, this is great. He knows me, I'm never happy with my pizza. Each time he comes and say, today is okay. You know, it's a mentality that strives to perfection that doesn't exist, so it keeps like pushing the boundaries of what I can do and what I cannot do.
Yeah, don't start a pizza business in New York unless you like not sleeping.
So choose a location wisely.
Location, yeah, right? Location.
Location,
I mean,
location.
we were talking about this before. Yeah, it's so annoying to say it, but it's true. We know mediocre pizzerias that could be around forever because they're in an amazing
location. In Italy, would never happen. In Italy, we search for the food, but the problem of pizza in America is still seen as a convenience food. The word say itself. Convenience means I won't travel 10 blocks when I have it one under my apartment, especially now where everybody is elevating their game. So the one better are just slightly better, or the one that's maybe closer to your apartment. So demographic is very important. You know, like lines in front of pizzeria in New York nowadays are happening in only maybe 5 places in all New York. I can see it in Una, I can see it in Industria, Jones, but Jones because of course of the history, but it's rarer and it's getting more rare every day because everyone's elevating the game. So at the point, the demographic around you, how many people live, how many people need that, that's I think what determines your success.